Hello, welcome back. In our Speak Up Mr. Manager series, Speak Up Mr. Manager, video number 3. So, in this video, we're going to recap what we learned in the last lecture. So, again, about me. Hi, this is Dr. Ujjwal Khadka. I'm a certified leadership coach, author, and an online teacher. My courses are available on Udemy and Skillshare. And I'm also working to create a cohort-based course on voice and speech coaching for speakers, voice and speech coaching for managers and leaders. So what this is not. So this is not a course on everyday English communication. No, this is not that. This is a course on mastering standard American accent in a corporate or business setting. So what is this? This is mastering standard American accent in a business or corporate setting. So even though this is an American English in a business setting, practice of speaking American English in a business setting, but I contend that it will be helpful to and applicable in any sort of business setting. All right. On that note, let's move ahead. So in our last lectures, we discussed about the ideas of vocal warm-up. We actually practiced warming up vocally, vocal techniques and speech, and we learned a few tips on being a confident speaker. Things like not being staccato, not displaying staccato or monotony in your speech, and probably, let's say, moving forward, let's say not saying a lot of ums and ahs, and letting your words flow, speaking every words, as a speaking them out, putting efforts or being effortless if you have that sort of practice. That's what we are here for, to make it effortless and seamless and to be dynamic and confident as a speaker. What does it entail to be dynamic? What does it mean? Again, dynamic means you're not going flat in your speech, but there's a natural rise and fall, as with all American English communication, American English conversations or communication. There's a natural rise and fall. When you're making a statement, hi, welcome back. Dr. Ujjwal, your coach in voice and speech coaching for managers here. So let's get back to our vocal warm-up techniques. So in this section, we'll go back to our premise, our starting point, vocal warm-up techniques. Take a deep breath. In exhalation, take a deep breath. In exhalation. Let your jaw drop naturally. Let your air come out from your belly. Let air come out from your belly. Let your jaw drop naturally. And say it. I am a confident speaker. I am a confident speaker. I offer energy through my speech. I offer motivation as I speak. I am a confident speaker. I'm a confident leader. I speak from my belly. I'm grounded, and I'm a grounded and present speaker. I speak through my belly. I speak in a confident manner. I'm a confident speaker. Say it. Say it aloud. I speak through my belly. I'm a confident speaker. Take a deep breath. In exhalation. A few more practice verbs. Rivalry, rivalry week. So it has the V sound, V, and R. Rivalry week, rivalry week. Rivalry week, rivalry week. Cheese, cheese, ch sound. Crunchy, crunchy, crispy, crust, crunchy, crispy. Topeka, crunchy, crispy. Again, the words do not have to make any sense. sentences do not have to make any sense. We're just trying to use our vocal muscles to be more effective as a speaker, to be more grounded as a speaker, to let that voice of communication, that confident speaker in you come out. Again, it's about breathing. So thank you. In our next lectures, we'll talk some more about more ideas. Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is Dr. Ujjwal Khadka, certified leadership coach, author, and an online teacher, coming to you with tips, tools, and insights and practices on vocal speech and vocal techniques. So let's start there. Okay, so the topic is voice and speech coaching for managers and leaders. So every day as a manager, what are you asked to do? You're asked to communicate. As a leader, you communicate on a constant daily basis. But not every one of us, not all of us know exact techniques of reaching out to a larger audience. You know, voice and speech entails breathing in and letting the air out through your belly, through your abdominal musculature, up into the lungs and trachea and the sound producing units in your throat, and out into the world as you motivate, as you energize. So you noticed what I did there? It wasn't flat. You don't want to go flat in your speech. So we'll be learning again. What are we learning here? We're learning vocal techniques, vocal warm-up techniques to be a dynamic speaker. We don't want to go flat. If you go flat and if I continue to speak like this, people are going to go to sleep. You don't want to do that as a manager. As a manager, what you want to do is you want to have dynamism in your voice. You want to have a motivating, energizing voice. That's what we're going to learn in this vocal warm-up technique number 1. Let's call it video number 1, even though I have a couple of other videos. You can check out those videos here. Ujjwal Bikram Khadka. Just type in the name and the videos will show up. So let's go ahead and help learn few tips from there. And in this video, we're gonna talk about vocal warm-up. So I want you to. This is very important. It's really important that you pay attention, that you employ these techniques. And if you want to learn more, I have provided links here to my online courses on Udemy and Skillshare. Some of the courses on Skillshare are promoted for free now. I want you to take advantage of that. Some of the courses are up for free promotion, so I want you to take advantage of that. Click the links down below to take advantage of that. Some of my courses on Udemy are also for free, and it will help you learn how to emerge as a confident speaker. Let's focus on speaking and vocal techniques. So let's go. Rule number 1: you don't want to be flat. You want to be dynamic in your voice. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean to be dynamic? Dynamic means you don't want to go flat. It's not staccato. You're linking your words, but you're stressing on certain words. You're stressing on certain ideas or topics or tips to make your listeners pay attention to that particular thing that you want to impart. And you need a sound and solid voice for that. So let's get started. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Let it go. You need air to produce sounds. You need air. You need your lungs full of air, and you're putting out your voice, and a voice of communication. It's kind of like music. You say, John, I like your work. Or, hey, everybody, what's up? How are you guys doing? How is it going? You need a sound, confident speech. And that starts with breathing, okay? Let's do this. Take a deep breath and let it go, and let your voice come out from your belly. That's key. Take a deep breath and let it go. So that was the number 1 idea. Number 2 idea was not to be flat or staccato in your speech. We want your speech to be dynamic. You're a dynamic and confident speaker. So friends, Click the links down below and get your access to the free courses on Udemy and Skillshare. And please do check in to find my other videos as I present them to you. And I'm so excited to present to you these ideas, these amazing ideas. Dear friends, hello and welcome back. Speak Up Mr. Manager video series, video number 4. Hi, this is Dr. Ujjwal Khadka, a certified coach and your coach in voice and speech coaching for managers and leaders. So let's get back to let's recap. First, we learned that speaking entailed breathing, being grounded in the present moment, and to be relaxed and let the air come out from your belly out into the world as we motivated, as we energized, and to not have a monotonous voice, and to vary your pace, pitch, and to be dynamic. Again, statements ended down. Every time you made a statement, it ended down. Whenever you made a statement, it ended down. You're indicating with your voice and tone that you stopped. So let that be our first idea for the day. Anytime you're making a statement, the statement ends down. So I just indicated with my voice, the voice ending down, that it was a statement for change, for a start, and then you indicated with the tone of your voice that it ended down. It did not go across. Now, listen to me going across. Every time you make a statement, the statement ends down. So that's me going across. It didn't end down. You don't want to do that. Statements end down. You just want to signal through your tone that the statement or the sentence has ended. All right. Now, next step. Intention is everything. Intention is key. In communication, intention is key. What do I mean by that? What does intention entail? What is it? So intention means, what are we trying to achieve here through communication, through employing the voice of communication? What are we trying to achieve? What is my motto, motivation? In speaking, what is my intention? Is my intention to teach? Is my intention to motivate you, to energize and inspire you? Or is it to comfort somebody? Hi, welcome back. So in this section, we're going to recap what we learned so far. Now, when it comes to the interview itself, be poker-faced or stoic, not showing many emotions, holding your power, not that you are more powerful than the other person, but being professional and somber and serious. So we talked about that in our previous lectures. Now, a few more points to consider. Ask these questions. Do they speak to your specific questions? How do they react in the spur of the moment? How do they respond? Do they adjust well? Do they do it with grace? Are they friendly and affable as they are answering your questions? So these are the questions you need to ask yourself. These are the points to consider. And then some more questions to ask. Ask yourself, what kind of person you're looking for. So you're thinking to yourself, I think this person is trainable. I think this person could be an interesting person to groom for the said job. I think this person is trainable, and I also think that this person could be an interesting person to groom for the said job. So allow some element of surprise. And you don't have to say who is going to be present at the interview. When you're preparing, when you're letting them know, sometimes the vice president might show up or, chip in to ask his set of questions. So you let that element of surprise be present. Holding your cards right. Will show up. Okay, so now these were the questions to consider. Now, showing up at the interview itself. What are the things to consider? What are the points to consider? What are the ideas and tips going forward? So we'll show up gracious and professional. We'll show up gracious and professional. And phrases to start the interview. You say, "Hello, John. I'm Ujjwal. It's good to have you today for this interview." "Hello, John. I'm Ujjwal. It's good to have you today for this interview. We're going to be interviewing you today, and thanks for being here." Boom. And that's how you start. So being very professional. And now about the questions itself, what is the one life lesson you learned in the last 5 years? So we discussed about these questions in the previous lectures. We're still going over them. All right, everybody. Welcome to our new video, our latest in the series, Speak Up, Mr. Manager. So, handling conflict in the workplace. So our topic today is employing language and phrases and speech to handle conflict in the workplace. So the idea is to open up yourself to your listeners. It's so important. And how do you do that? Well, you do that, you open up yourself to your listeners by storytelling. Storytelling is so key. Storytelling is... Now, about handling conflict in the workplace, employees not pulling along their job responsibilities, say with things like they're not showing up on time or they're showing up late, their performance is less than stellar. So all kinds of things, and trying to deal with somebody like that, somebody say who's an immovable object. So what are they like? They are an immovable object, metaphorically speaking. So as a manager, dealing with somebody who's an immovable object is the hardest aspect of being a manager, hardest part of a manager's job. So how do you deal with such circumstance? How do you deal with such situations? How do you affect change? Remember, we're putting these buttons in them. We're pressing these buttons in them. So how do you deal with that? How do you go through that wall? How do you go past that wall and bring them over to your side? So we cannot always convince them to follow our protocol. Of course, it's up to them whether they want to or not, but it's our job, it's our responsibility as a manager, as a leader, to try to convince them, to try to lay out options, to try to throw in perspectives, try to offer them references and perspectives and different ways to look at things. We cannot persuade, but we can lead and guide them, can't we? So how can we use language? How can we use communication to deal with that kind of attitude and behavior? The attitude of, "No, don't look at me like that. I didn't do anything wrong," or "You are bad. You're a bad manager." How do you deal with that kind of attitude and behavior? So we do it by leading and guiding them, the other person. Hi, welcome back. Your coach Ujjwal here. So in this section, let's talk about phrases to motivate employees. Phrases to motivate employees. What are the wording and phrases and language and speech to motivate your employees? So you say, "John, I like your work. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. Keep it up." So John or Asad or Sally, "I like your work. Keep up the good work. Keep it up. Thank you for a great performance in the past week. Thank you for the great work in the past week, in the past year. Thank you. Thank you for the continued great work. I like your work. Keep it up. Keep up the good work." I heard, if that's the case, so you say, "I heard great things about you from the management. Our management were all praised for your performance, for your work. Keep it up. I like that. Keep it up. Keep up the good work." And some more phrases. So you say, to motivate them, you say, "I'm so excited about the work that this team has done for the last month. I'm so excited about the work that this team has done for the last month." So there's a smile in your voice. You're motivating someone. There's energy in your voice. There's energy, enthusiasm in your voice. Since I'm so excited about the work that this team has done for the past month, I'm so impressed. Thank you. Thank them. Thank you. Everyone has gotten their reports in on time. Everyone has gotten their reports in on time. It's really important that we follow these next steps, and you have done a great job. You have done a great job. I like your work. Keep it up. And upper management is kind of blown away by your performance. They haven't seen a teamwork like this ever. And upper management is kind of blown away by the work that this team has done. They haven't seen a teamwork like this. Keep it up. So I just want you guys, I just want you all to know that you're doing an incredible job. Hey, how's it going? Coach Yuze, Coach Dr. Ujjwal here, Coach Yuze here. So let's talk about coaching in our Speak Up Mr. Manager series. So this is the series that where we'll talk about all things corporate coaching, management and leadership. Mostly, tips and tools and strategies and language and speech when it comes to managing up, down and across. All right, so let's start with coaching, leadership coaching. So when I say coaching, it's not strategic coaching. We're talking about behavioral coaching, leadership coaching. All right. So friends, thank you for being here. Let's get started. I think it's really important to have a framework as a coach. To have a structure, a framework as a coach. It's important. It's really key. So I'll refer to my cheat sheet here. Understanding leadership and coaching, tips, tools and strategies. So asking questions, that's really key. Coaching, tools, the tools of asking questions. Questions like, what is it that you do? What is it your specialty in, where you can help them? What is it that you do and what is your specialty? What are you an expert in? And even more important is, what is your philosophy? So even more important is, what is your philosophy? So in my case, I'd say to be a maximum service to others and to help them become maximum service to themselves and to others. To others, including their family, their loved ones, their job, their life. So that's really key. So it's key to ask, what is your philosophy? What motivates you? And we go from having a hands-down approach to a more collaborative approach, collaborative sort of leadership. So we go from hands down to a more interdependent, collaborative approach. So putting focus on the other person. We start with the tools of asking questions. So we start with the tools of asking questions of the other person. Questions along the lines of, how is this process going for you? So we are being very definite and asking questions of the other person. Questions along the lines of, how is this process going for you? How are you enjoying the process? How is this process going for you? How are you enjoying the process? And even before that, what are your goals? What are your goals? What would you like to achieve? What are your goals and what would you like to achieve? So they're really key. So some kind of questions you ask leaders, same kind of questions you ask leaders. What do you aspire to? What do you see? Where do you see yourself in this company 10 years from now? What do you aspire to? What are your ambitions? What are your areas for improvement? What is working for you in your life right now? What isn't working for you? What are those things that are challenges for you? What do you see opportunities for growth? So all of those things. So let's get back to key ideas about coaching. So we learned that it was about asking. Asking was very helpful. Asking is very helpful. Asking. Putting it onto them is the tool we use. Putting it onto them. So asking like, how is this helping you? How is this going for you? What went well for you last week? How is this going for you? How is this helping you? What went well for you last week? What would you like to work on this week? Again, putting it onto them is the tool we use. That's really key. So we started with discussing the importance of having a framework as a coach, and the framework of being a max, and the framework that was based on our philosophy as a coach. So in my case, I said my philosophy was to be a maximum service to others and to help them to become a maximum service to themselves and to others including their family, their loved ones, their job, their life. So it's really key to have a framework and to ask these important questions, and the questions are actually our tools for eliciting motivations in our leaders. So coaching for leadership effectiveness, and you employ the tools, and the tools of asking questions is also about coaching them to helping probing deeper, to helping them find their motivations, the belief systems, the probing deeper to discover their belief systems, to explore, to investigate, to explore, to gently nudge them, guide them, prod them, lead them to bring out their best self. Hello, welcome back. How to make friends, tips and language, part 1. So first of all, let's determine, and I ask myself, what kind of friends do I want to make? How many friends do I have time for in my life? What kind of friends do I want to make? How many friends do I have time for in my life? Where do I go? Where do I start? What do I do? How do I find new friends? The $1 million question. How do I find new friends? So these are the questions. You start with questions, right? So gauging your motivations and exploring through questions. So that's the tip here, the tip of making friends. So we started with the need to communicate. We started with the idea that because we have a need to communicate, because we are humans, because we live in a community, we want to share our ideas, we want to be interdependent through communicating, through being of service, and you need certain language and wording to make friends, especially coming to a new culture. Like I'm from Nepal, and coming from a different culture, and I live here in the United States. So coming from a different culture, I needed to learn the attitudes and beliefs, or not beliefs so much, but the attitude and the way you talked, the different styles of communicating, to make friends, to be part of a community, and that's so key. So what are the questions you ask when you want to make friends? As you say, I want to make friends who have similar attitudes and beliefs. Sometimes it could be that you have similar religious beliefs. So say you go to churches, and if you have similar religious beliefs, you go to churches and you introduce yourself, and you get engaged in small talks. Smile, say hello, ask open-ended questions. Hello, how are you? How nice to meet you. I'm Ujjwal. Can I have your name? It's so great to meet you. It's so great to see you today. Hey, how's it going? So again, if you have similar interests or similar beliefs, you go to certain places, and there you ask open-ended questions, you smile, you be friendly, and that's how you make friends. Hello, welcome back. How to make friends, tips and language, part 1. So first of all, let's determine, and I ask myself, what kind of friends do I want to make? How many friends do I have time for in my life? What kind of friends do I want to make? How many friends do I have time for in my life? Where do I go? Where do I start? What do I do? How do I find new friends? The $1 million question. How do I find new friends? So these are the questions. You start with questions, right? So gauging your motivations and exploring through questions. So that's the tip here, the tip of making friends. So we started with the need to communicate. We started with the idea that because we have a need to communicate, because we are humans, because we live in a community, we want to share our ideas, we want to be interdependent through communicating, through being of service, and you need certain language and wording to make friends, especially coming to a new culture. Like I'm from Nepal, and coming from a different culture, and I live here in the United States. So coming from a different culture, I needed to learn the attitudes and beliefs, or not beliefs so much, but the attitude and the way you talked, the different styles of communicating, to make friends, to be part of a community, and that's so key. So what are the questions you ask when you want to make friends? As you say, I want to make friends who have similar attitudes and beliefs. Sometimes it could be that you have similar religious beliefs. So say you go to churches, and if you have similar religious beliefs, you go to churches and you introduce yourself, and you get engaged in small talks. Smile, say hello, ask open-ended questions. Hello, how are you? How nice to meet you. I'm Ujjwal. Can I have your name? It's so great to meet you. It's so great to see you today. Hey, how's it going? So again, if you have similar interests or similar beliefs, you go to certain places, and there you ask open-ended questions, you smile, you be friendly, and that's how you make friends. Welcome back. How to make friends language. Recap. So what did we learn? What did we learn in our earlier lectures? So what we learned was to ask ourselves, to why do I need to make a friend, or how many friends do I have time for in my life, and why is there the need? Is it to communicate? Is it to share our insights and common beliefs, attitudes? So ask yourself, and the tools would be the tools of asking questions. How many friends do I have time in my life for? Where do I go? Where do I start? And the tools would be to start with by going to places where you have similar interests, common goals, common attitudes, beliefs. Say if I was a writer, I would go to writers' meets, and students hang out in colleges. And say if you have similar religious belief, you go to churches, and you introduce yourself, you smile, you greet, you have a friendly and relaxed demeanor, and you say, hello, my name is Ujjwal. So it's so nice to meet you. It's so great to see you today. And just start with asking open-ended questions. And we don't judge people. We don't ask personal questions. Say questions along the lines of their, say, monetary habits. We don't typically in the United States, we don't talk about people's finances and their careers also, if they're not interested. So first, it's important to explore. It's important to see how the other person is receiving you, how they are interacting, how open they are. And my advice would be to go wholeheartedly into it, dive into it and be proactive. So you volunteer to go ahead and ask those questions, and and start with open-ended questions. To ask questions like, is this your first time here? Say if you are going to a speakers meet at say Toastmasters, you want to be a speaker and you're going to a Toastmasters, you say, is this your first time here? Have you been to this venue before? And what was it like? What was the experience like? So you ask these questions, smile and be open, and ask open-ended questions.